I'm going. Your mom says that you will not get any traction unless you open this as a private case. There was a lead they did not follow. They have not done the work they needed to do for you to get peace. And it is for you. You feel like your mother has been failed at every level of this investigation. They've already put her in the ground, they've put it to rest, and they don't want to do anymore. You don't feel that this is fair for a woman that gave her life to you guys and was there the best that she could. No one deserves this. Nobody. I want to preface, even if your mom was an addict or anything, nobody's mother deserves this. They all deserve justice and truth. I believe this is the time of uncovering. I think this 2025 is a year of breaking down old constructs and uncovering huge truths and disclosures that are hard for everybody. And this case is absolutely no different. The things that have been hidden cannot be hidden in 2025. Me, as your advisor, would say, I think you should push forward, talk to some private investigators, tell them what you're willing to offer. I always say, tell them ahead of time, I have $1,000, that's all I have, or I have $800, this is all I have. Tell them ahead of times before they drag it out like a lawyer sometimes will do and make a lot of hours. Tell them very upfront, this is what I have, this is the information I have, this is the case file, this is what I know, I'm going to send it to you. Tell me what you can charge, this is all I have, what can you do for me? Did you contact an attorney, did you contact a private eye, but they never got back with you?
I did. That was when she first was missing.
She said she already contacted one and they drug her around and didn't do anything. It was like there was a male private detective, but you talked to the female, like secretary or whatever.
She had two different investigators. They were both male, but the first one he was just terrible.
Because I see you working with a man and giving him faith, but then him losing faith and then talking to a female because you were very disgruntled about it.
Okay, so the female that I talked to, her son had found my mom when he was fishing. He found her, and I stay in contact with the lady, the mom of the son. And we talked maybe 2 days ago.
Okay, that's why I see you contacting a private eye. I see you being very disgruntled and upset, him not doing his job, trying to take your money. I see this female that still is trying to get you some, and I want to say media is where I really want to see this going. Would you like to extend 2.5 minutes or 5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, 2 or 5?
Let's do 2.
Okay, perfect.
And then I have a question, like the information that the lady gave me, how her son found my mom was completely different from how the detective told me they found my mom. So I wanted to know, like, which one was true.
I don't think there's any involvement from the man that found him, her son. Do you ever sense any deception at all from him?
No, he was genuinely fishing and he jumped the private gate onto private property and found her.
That's exactly the case. I feel no guile or no deception. My stomach is clear when my stomach turns. It's the sign of the cross is how I'm attuned. And I know exactly where, yes, no, right, left, male, female. There's no deception in him. It's purity. What you need to do is, I think you can get the case reopened on misinformation or falsified information, because what the man said and what was reported are so vastly different. I think that alone is incompetent reporting.
Okay.
I think that if you get a new statement, especially if you work with a private investigator, male or female, doesn't matter. But finding someone that's willing to help you to relook at this case. And I also want to say there's a lot of crime podcasts right into them. There's so many on YouTube, TikTok, I can't even think, Apple, iHeart, everything. Go to all the crime podcasts and get a little blurb that you write up, love, with your information, your mom's information, any headlines or anything, and go ahead and send it to them. And they will, for free, make you a guest on the show. And you might be able to get some pressure on the department to reopen the case, is what I'm thinking.
Okay. And the last thing is, the person who put her there, does she not want me knowing who it is, or is he close to me? Like, I don't know if...
Yes, she wants you to know who it is.
Okay.
I feel no masking. Like the mask is being pulled off. I feel the mask is pulled off. That's what she shows me. Pull the mask off.
And did she know who it was? Like, did she know him?
Was she strangled?
I don't know.
Oh, God. They didn't even give you a cause of death?
They only found skeleton.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she knew that did this, but it was not somebody, I don't think it's somebody she knew well.
Okay.
But it was somebody it wasn't a stranger is what I'm trying to say. It wasn't like someone that didn't know her, never met her, never seen her, snatched her up. No. I feel like an attack from behind. I feel something with the throat. I feel like it definitely can't breathe. I feel like there was a motive to it. It was a greed or I want to say a sexual crime, but it was a vengeful, angry passing. Like it wasn't a long drug out thing. It was pretty quick, but it was definitely a vengeful, angry person. You know, if I can't have you, nobody can. You're not doing this to me. How dare you try to leave me or try to defame me or try to cheat on me or, it's something like that type of motive. It's an anger. I can feel it in my chest. It's an anger. That's just an angry feeling that I get. There was no broken bones.
The lady said, her son said her hands were gone.
Yeah, I did not identify her. But that's an amateur because her face was intact, correct?
They just said it was skeleton, but they said everything was intact.
Her teeth were intact, though.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's how we were able to identify her.
A professional would never do that. No offense, I'm not trying to get anybody upset, but just taking the hands would never be enough because your dental records are enough to always identify a body. So that's why I said this was just like a bad idea. And when they did it, like I said, they thought she'd be found a lot sooner. Are you in a cold area?
Right now at this moment?
No, I mean, where do you live? Where did this happen?
Beaumont, Texas. So Southeast Texas, not very cold. It doesn't really get that cold out here. But when she was missing, when she was at the place they dropped her, it was during the coldest day of the week of a freeze.
Yeah. Because that's what I keep seeing as it just being very, very cold. But I can tell you this, I have told you this before, she is with you, she does love you, and she's not suffering. And her passing, even though it was tragic, it was quick. Which is, I mean, I hope that brings some comfort to you. And I mean, there's people that go through horrendous tragedies, and she wasn't one of those.
Thank you, Sunshine.
You're welcome, love. I actually have to say, just to give you some comfort, I've done readings for the Green River Killer, and it was actually his first victim. It was one that he never got charged with because he didn't get caught till his, I think, sixth victim, and so he admitted to like 3, and then he got caught for 2, and then in his plea deal he admitted to the other ones, just to get off and this and that. But when I did the case for the Green River Killer for the sister of the first victim, it was very involved. Like there was things that he had done to her and left signs, carved symbols. I mean, it was a lot. And I have to say, like, comparing that in experience, your mom's passing was very non-violent. Even though I know you're looking at it going, her hands were missing. Oh my God, that was post-mortem. She didn't feel any of that. She wasn't aware of any of that. To me, I just see someone coming behind, grabbing her from behind and choking her out, essentially. Not a lot of trauma, not a lot of fighting. There was no fight to it. There was no way for her to fight. Was she involved with drinking or being around people that would be around drugs or alcohol?
Yes.
Because that's what I feel is that someone felt that she had been with somebody. They felt they were dating her. She wasn't dating him. She was trying to get away from them. And she was actually trying to get out of that lifestyle. She was trying to get away from that. She made 2 attempts, and this was like her 3rd attempt. Had she talked to you about getting away from there, trying to get clean and sober, trying to move on, do something different, come back in your life a little more?
Yes. Actually, on one of me and your first readings we did, you had told me that my mom was getting ready to, clean up herself because the holidays were around and she didn't want to be around because of how skinny she was getting. So she was trying to clean herself up.
The person that I feel that's really responsible for this was a crime of passion, a crime of rage. And what I keep getting out of this is that he had done a lot for her. So I feel that he supplied her with a lot of different substance, had given her a place to stay, kind of gave her rides, cigarettes, whatever. And she was like, I don't want this anymore. I'm done with this. I don't want to be involved. And she knew too much, and it enraged him that she would leave. And like I say, I really feel like this was just a spur of the moment. It wasn't like a coordinated attack. It was almost like she was leaving his house or his home, walking down a dark garage or driveway, and he just came up behind her, grabbed her by the throat, whacked her on the head. I don't even see him breaking any of the cranium or her skull, just knocking her out a little bit. And pretty much, I really don't think that she felt anything. I feel like it was a very quick, and I know I'm pantomiming and I'm not trying to upset you, but I'm trying to show you that the things you could imagine, when we imagine a traumatic passing, it's so much worse than often what the person went through. Everything she went through happened after she was gone, and even the transfer of the body, it didn't happen where she was. It didn't happen where she was put.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel, again, still very good that she was surrounded by her loved ones. She talks about a grandmother and a father being on the other side.
Yeah, her grandmother.
Her mother's still alive?
Yes, my grandma's still alive.
Because her mom's not with her. When she's talking to me, she shows me her grandmother and her father. And who was the baby? Who had the baby that passed? Did she have a baby? Or did you have one?
Me and my sister had a baby that passed. And
Okay.
you had told me that my baby was a boy and that he is with my mom.
Okay, so this is all the same. I don't remember my readings, thank God. It gives me validity years later to give the exact same reading. But yeah, she has the baby with her. I think I don't know that I said that before, but she does have a baby with her, and it's your baby. So she's very content on the other side. But she said, what happened to me? She says, I put myself around these types of people. I never thought this would happen, but I was leaving that situation. She had a dream or a premonition that she was going to, her life was going to be cut short if she didn't leave.
Yeah. Her one of her best friends actually told her a few days before her best friend is a psychic, I guess, and told her, don't walk the streets on this time and something bad is going to happen to you. You're going to die. And my mom got upset and left. And then a few days it happened.
Oh my God, I got the chills so strong. They're like running up and down my back like a xylophone, like.
Yeah, and her best friend told me when my mom was missing, she's like, your mom said she's by water and she's cold. And
That's
she was found by
exactly
water.
what I was saying to you in that first. I'm like, God, it's so cold. I'm just like, oh my gosh. You know what's crazy is I'm listening to your mom say it, and you're listening to the friend that said it to your mom. So it's like both of the stories. How many of you just got the chills in this reading? Did you get the chills, Juju?
Yes, I did.
She says, I was warned, I was told, and I knew I had to go. This is I see her walking away from this house. Like,
She was staying with a good friend of hers, and he told me that one day, I guess it was nighttime, she just told him, I'll be right back, I'm going somewhere, and she walked down the
and she
street.
went over to that guy, and that guy was not having it. He was very jealous. He was very enraged. He felt like this was his property. He had done too much for her. How dare you leave me for this other guy? She tried to say, there's nothing going. She went to, like, swear, like, does she smoke? I keep smelling cigarettes. She's like, I just was going to go get these cigarettes. I went to this, like, I walked to, like, a store. I keep going to, like, a tire shop or a store that she walked to.
Yeah, it's a store right next to a tire shop.
I can smell the tires. I can see, everybody knows her. She walks over there. She gets some cigarettes and, like, a soda. And she goes to walk over to his house, this guy that she was involved with. And there's, like, a JL connection. James Lee, John Lee, Jason.
What color, does she tell you what color his house was?
Well, I see a white, and then I also see something with green and gray. So I see like a lighter color house, but I see it almost looks like an older single-story type of house, and there's a driveway to the left, it looks like to me. She goes over there and tries to just be like, hey, what's going on? Very casual, but there's all this anger. This man is angry, and there's two other men at the house with him. He's not alone. And I see her having this argument with them and trying to leave. She was walking away, and she went a different way. She didn't go back toward the store. She walked down a different way. So from where his house is, it looks like the store is to my right as I'm looking at it. But when I'm looking at the store, I see her walk down the driveway to the left. So as if she's going either back to this other man's house or she's going somewhere else, but she doesn't make it. She doesn't make it.
You said John Lee or Jay Lee?
There's something with a J and L connection. I just keep hearing the syllables. I don't always hear her whole name because I'm a clairvoyant, so I remote view easier than I hear. But it's like a J, like a J and a L sound. I don't know what that is. It's a J and an L sound. But it's definitely her. The guy that was her friend, the guy that she was with, he was helping her get on her feet. He really loved her, but not in a romantic way. They were good friends. He had been there
Best friends, yes.
He said he had been there for me for years.
Since I was a little girl.
And he really loved her, even though it wasn't, I don't think it was reciprocal. He had said to her, don't go over there. And she goes, no, you're just being crazy. I'm going to go over there. I need to get a pack of cigarettes. I need to get a drink. Like, I just need to go for a walk. So it's like she left his house. I keep seeing a car in the road too. Was there witnesses that said either they saw a car? Nobody saw anything, right?
Nobody saw anything.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think there's a woman that was in the house that happened to be looking out her front yard because there's like a neighborhood, but it wasn't like a very nice neighborhood.
No.
It looks like single streets, very like narrow streets with cars parked on the street, not in driveways.
I know exactly the area you're talking about.
It's to me, when I look at it remotely, as I'm standing there right now, I'm standing there astrally looking to the left and the right. I'm like, this is a narrow street. It's cold right now. And there's like cars on the street and very small, narrow driveways, if any. Miss House doesn't really stand out that much. It doesn't look.
Is there a yellow store, like a grocery store nearby? A yellow grocery store?
On the left.
On the
Like
left.
the end of the road on the left, and the tire shop and the gas station will be to the right.
Yes, I know exactly what street you're talking about.
Because like if you come, she came from this direction, back behind me.
Yes.
When I look at where she came from, I can see her walking. I'm standing in front of the house that this happened at. I can see the gas station and I can see the corner store. And she walked from over there behind me to the right. And she comes up and she talks to somebody. They saw her. So there was people that saw her that night at the store. But she was fine.
Yes, the people at the store did say they had saw her on like certain days. They said that she came in about 2 weeks ago, when we were looking for her. So I just don't know when it happened because
It happened right after the store.
Huh?
It happened like right after the store.
Right after the store? Okay.
Right after it. I mean, she walked from there to the house. He didn't hear from her after she went to the store. He never heard from her again, correct?
Right.
Yeah, it really happened.